Today, Sylvie and I are in the county of Huntingdonshire and we're starting our walk in the town of St Ives, which is situated on the River Grey Ouse. We've been to St Ives a couple of times in the past and often contemplated doing a walk in this area. We spend a while walking round St Ives before setting off on our walk. When we do set off, we head west to find the Riverside path that will take us to the neighbouring village of Houghton. The quickest way to get to the path is through the All Saints churchyard. Once we're through the churchyard, we see the sign for the path, also known as the Ouse Valley Way, and it tells us that the walk is about 1¼ miles. As we approach the village of Houghton, we come to a junction in the path. We turn left, but just for a few yards, before turning right onto a narrow footpath. We actually want to visit Houghton's famous attraction, which is the old mill, and an old gentleman we stopped to talk to told us that this was a shortcut. After a couple of 100 yards, we arrive at a caravan park. We walk across the park until we reach what is known as the lagoon. It's here that we set eyes on the magnificent Houghton watermill. There's been a watermill here for hundreds of years, but the current one was only built in the 17th century after the earlier one burnt down. There is a tea shop here, so Sylvie and I stop for some tea before we take a look round. The mill is owned by the National Trust and is only open on certain days of the week. Sadly, it wasn't open today. After a quick look round, we take a walk into Houghton village itself. Houghton is a very pretty village with many old timber frame buildings. This one used to be the village post office. We also came across a charming old pub which was in the process of having its roof repaired. We just had a cup of tea, so we didn't stop for another drink. After looking round Houghton village, we continued on our walk, which meant heading back towards the mill. We pick up the path from the mill, which will take us back towards the river. This is where we straddle the county boundary and cross into the neighbouring county of Cambridgeshire. After we cross the footbridge, we come into a huge meadow, which is effectively a giant island in the River Grey Ouse, and it's about half a mile wide. We eventually come to another bridge, which brings us into the village of Hemingford Abbots. Like Houghton, Hemingford Abbots is a very old village full of charming character cottages and buildings. When we reach the village centre, we come to the village pub, the Axe and Compasses, and here we stop for a drink.
Cheers.
Half an hour later, we set off for the neighbouring village of Hemingford Grey. Hemingford Grey is only a short walk from Hemingford Abbots, and we're there before we even know it. Hemingford Grey is larger than Hemingford Abbots and is full of modern development. Using my map, we negotiate our way through its modern streets until we reach Mill Lane. Somewhere at the end of this lane we should pick up a path that will take us back to St Ives. Half a mile later we find the path which takes us out into another giant meadow, and at this time of the year it's a sea of yellow buttercups. We can see St Ives in the distance, about a mile away. We enter St Ives on the south side of the river and cross over its famous medieval bridge. Fortunately, there was a tea shop on the other side of the bridge, so we stopped for a quick cup of tea before heading home. This walk has lasted about 5 hours and covered just about 7 miles. Cheers, Sylv.
Cheers. Nice cup of tea.
Oh, lovely.